الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم.
Brother Ramzi, what I like about you is that you don't sugarcoat Islam. I just want to share a quick clip with you. I think that it's one of the best, if not the best for me, from your channel. And this is it.
Wallahi, this is the first video that came to mind when you said that. I had a
Yeah.
feeling. Wallahi, I had a feeling you were going to play this video as soon as you said that.
Subhanallah.
Let this be a message for all Christian missionaries who heavily rely upon emotional non-arguments against Islam. We don't care if you don't like the Prophet Muhammad's marriage to Aisha. We don't care that you don't like that Muslim men can have more than one wife. And we definitely don't care that Islam contradicts the secular, liberal, spoon-fed laws that you religiously adhere to.
جزاكم الله خيرا, brother. Why
ما شاء الله.
this clip? Because you know.
You want to know why I made that? Like, what inspired that video? What you want to know what happened?
Yeah.
There was this particular TikToker. I'm not going to say his name, obviously. There's this particular TikToker here in the US, very anti-Islam. I mean, very anti-Islam. Like, just hates Muslims, hates Arabs. Absolutely, like one of the worst breed I've ever seen, and also very, very, just very dumb. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. Like, literally doesn't know the first thing about Islam. Doesn't know the first thing about the Quran. Everything he says, the very few arguments he knows against Islam, he just copies and pastes from other people. And I know exactly who he gets it from, right? Basically like a babagha, like just a parrot. He's just a parrot. He learns a couple of sentences, you know a parrot, right? A parrot. They learn like one or two sentences from somebody they listen to, and they just repeat them over and over and over and over. That's what he does. All right, he's a parrot. This guy, he basically would constantly just basically say, Islam is bad for this reason. Islam is bad. This because of the, like, I'm not going to repeat what he said, but basically he kept on finding moral issues with Islam, things he doesn't like about Islam, not arguments, not intellectual arguments, not the Quran is not the word of Allah because it has a mistake or this, that, the other. Oh no, the Prophet Muhammad, he was not a prophet of God because no, it was Islam is bad and you should hate Islam for this reason. Islam is bad, you should not like Islam and you should not like the Prophet Muhammad for this reason. And so I kind of and every time we presented that to these people, they didn't care. They didn't care. They just said, no, we don't care about intellectual arguments. We're just going to keep, because they don't have intellectual arguments. He knows nothing about Islam. He just knows a couple of things that some people might not like about Islam because it doesn't go along with their secular values. Yeah. So instead of arguing intellectually against Islam, he just uses those arguments. Yeah. And so I just wanted to make it clear, like when I made this video, like, guys, these arguments don't disprove Islam. You don't have to like Islam. We don't care if you don't like Islam. You don't like Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You don't like, Islam teaches this, Islam teaches that. Tayyib, habibi, we don't care. It's like as my mom would say, like we don't care, right? Forget it. Like it's tayyib, halan ukhti. It doesn't matter. If you don't like Islam, we don't care. You don't like my look, you don't like my beard, you don't like my face, you don't like my feet. Okay, tayyib. You don't like, I don't like Islam teaches this. I don't like Islam teaches that. I don't like that. And like tayyib. And what's your point? What's your point? Like I oftentimes will say, man, Islam says this and that, the other. I'll just be sitting there like, okay, shukra man. What else you got? Do you have any? Okay, do you have any intellectual arguments against Islam? I mean, yeah, they have nothing. They don't have anything. It's just what do we call in English? What do we call? What's the word we use for when you just talk about things you don't like? I don't like this. I don't like that. What is that called in English? Complaining. Complaining, right? You're not here to have an intellectual discussion. You're just here to complain. Habibi, there's a suggestion box over there. There's a suggestion box over there. You can leave us your opinion. We don't need your opinion. Okay, we don't care. All right. If you have an intellectual argument, yalla bismillah, let's talk about it. You have a complaint, I don't care. I have 3 little sisters. I have enough complaining in my life. Right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. I don't care. We don't care about your opinions. If you have arguments that disprove Islam or that you think disprove Islam, we'll talk about it. Great. That's what I'm interested in. You can't disprove Islam. You just if you can't disprove Islam, you just don't like it. Habibi, I'm cool with that. Alf Mabruk, we don't care how you feel. If Islam is true but you don't like it, fine. Yawm al-Qiyamah, on the Day of Judgment, you can tell Allah all the things you don't like. You can complain to Allah all you like on the Day of Judgment. You do that if you like. But if Islam is true, whether you like it or not. And that's why I made that video, because I was frustrated. Not frustrated, I was annoyed. I was like, Allah, when will these people understand? And the problem is, and here's a bigger problem, the Muslims don't respond this way. The Muslims actually give them, like, they entertain them, right? They I hate when people give respect to people who don't deserve respect. There's someone, he's just complaining against Islam. He doesn't make any arguments against Islam, but they're still going to him, they're still debating him, and they're still talking to him. I'm like, Akhi, hold on. He doesn't like this about Islam. Yeah. Okay, so what? What's the problem? Well, I mean, I'm what, you're trying to convince him that Islam is good? Akhi, if he doesn't like Islam, he doesn't like Islam. I mean, look, if someone if someone is curious, if someone is sincere and they ask questions, hey, you know what? I heard about this in Islam. Can you explain it to me? Yallah, bismillah, let's talk about it. I don't have an issue answering questions about Islam, whatever it is, if it's sincere. But there's a difference between asking questions and making arguments. If you come and say, you know what, I heard this about your Islam. Can you explain it to me? Bismillah, let's do it. You know what? Your religion is bad because Islam teaches this. I'm going to say, okay, you can take that if you like. Okay. I mean, sometimes what they say is false. Oftentimes what they say is false. But even if it's true, let's say it's true. Okay, how does that disprove Islam? Oh, well, it doesn't disprove Islam, but yeah, okay, but khalas, dayash waqti, don't waste my time. If it doesn't disprove Islam, don't waste my time. Basically, to the Islamophobes, like, don't waste my time. Give me arguments against Islam or don't waste my time. And Muslims, don't go to those people and waste your time and let them waste your time. If they don't give you intellectual arguments, you don't have to deal with them. Allah Azza wa Jalla in the Quran never says, Muslims, make sure all the kuffar love Islam. That's not a fard. Our fard is to convey the message, not to make sure everyone loves the message. We're not yani like this isn't like an advertisement. We're not trying to sell Islam. We're not selling Islam. Like it, don't like it. You like Islam, it'll help you. We get the ajr, but I don't gain anything physical from you becoming Muslim. It doesn't, nothing. Whatever. You becoming Muslim, that'll help you. It doesn't help. I mean, inshallah, Allah accepts it on the Day of Judgment, right? But that obviously is only if Islam is true. If Islam is not true, well, okay, then I have no benefit conveying Islam. There's no benefit whatsoever. It's just, I have a life. There's so many things we could be doing. Why would we be conveying a message if we're not able to prove it's true? And if you can't and if we're able to prove it's true and you have no arguments against it, no intellectual arguments against it, then khalas, habibi, either take your shahada or inasrif, go away. You can just be quiet. You don't have to accept Islam. It's Islam is for your benefit, not for me. Your Islam, I did my fard. My fard is to convey the message. So that video right there was kind of like me letting out my frustration. I'm like, you know what? It just needs to be said. Like we just need to say it. Non-Muslims, Islamophobes, ya kuffar, we don't care if you don't like Islam. You want to know about Islam? You want to get to know Islam? You want to ask questions about Islam? Maybe about something you don't like? Let's do it. But if you're gonna be out there, if you think you're gonna try to lead people away from it, if you think you're making points against Islam, or if you think that you're winning over Islam by complaining against Islam, yeah, sorry, don't care. Get lost. That's simple. Bring me argument. Either make arguments or just be quiet. Make intellectual arguments or don't talk to me. Or sorry, let me rephrase that. Either speak to me sincerely. Now, what does that mean? Maybe you have questions about something in Islam. Oh, in Islam, you can have more than one wife, right? Is that true? Can you explain it to me? Oh, yallah, let's talk about it. Either you ask me sincere questions, you make intellectual arguments. Don't complain. You either ask sincere questions or you make intellectual arguments. Anything else, I'm not interested.
Oh